Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, another episode of RGH3 101. In our last video, we did a deep educational dive into RGH3, what it is, how it works, and why it exists. But now we're going back in time and we're going to be covering JTAG in this video, and we'll be covering what it is, how it works, and why it exists. I'll do my best to explain it as simple as possible without going into any technical or anything too technical. So let's get right to it. In this video, we'll be doing an educational deep dive into the JTAG exploit in full context, what it is, how it worked, and why it represents a foundational failure in the Xbox 360 security boot trust model. So, what is JTAG? JTAG is like giving the Xbox permission to run anything you want, not just games from Microsoft. JTAG combines a hardware debug interface with a software vulnerability, allowing unsigned code execution at the lowest privilege level. How is this possible? Early Xboxes trust themselves too much and didn't check for cheats properly. Early dashboards lacked strong cryptographic enforcement, allowing modified bootloaders to execute without signature validation. For the boot chain, the Xbox turns on step by step, like passing a key down a hallway. The secure boot chain consists of CB, CD, CE, and CF stages. Failure to enforce RSA signature at these stages enable JTAG. But how does the exploit work, you may ask? We changed the Xbox's brain so it stopped asking for permission. A patch NAND disabled signature checks and allowed arbitrary code execution during every boot. For hardware requirements, wires help us talk directly to the Xbox's brain. Resistors and diodes expose the JTAG interface while a NAND flasher injects the modified firmware. Why was JTAG so stable? Nothing has to guess or glitch, it just works. Because execution is deterministic and not time-based, JTAG achieves near-perfect boot stability. Why this procedure is no longer possible, you may ask? Microsoft fixed the mistake so no one could do it again. eFuse permanently invalidate vulnerable bootloaders, preventing rollbacks or downgrade attack. Now comparing the two, JTAG is fast but very rare. RGH works on more Xboxes. RGH reintroduced execution control by exploiting timing inability, whereas JTAG relied on trust failure. So you may ask yourself, why does this still matter? Why is this information important? Why am I talking about it? Well, it helps people learn how consoles really work. JTAG demonstrates why layered cryptographic verification is critical and directly influences later exploits like RGH. So I know that was a lot to take in, but I did my best to explain it as simple as possible. I hope you like the information that I provided, and I will be doing more videos like this. If you have anything you want me to cover, you can leave it down in the comments down below. It doesn't have to be within the Xbox, it can be other consoles. So any information you think you'd like and deep dive you want me to do, I've got to do my research and present it as simple as possible. So again, leave your comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode of RGH3 101.